Hey guys, this is Austin, and today I'm here in San Jose for Display Week for one very simple reason. Not only did LG sponsor this video, but they gave me this dope hat. The comments will tell you what it says. Probably the most eye-catching thing here at the show is the 65-inch rollable OLED TV. And we got to briefly take a look at this at CES, but it is so cool to see something which of course is keeping that same trend of all the foldable displays, all the flexible displays, and taking that to a full-size 65-inch OLED TV. So if you compare this to something like an LCD, obviously a form factor like this wouldn't be possible. OLED is much simpler. There's essentially just the OLED panel itself, there's no backlight or anything else like that, which means that you can do some really interesting form factors, like rolling it up into a box. Actually, that feels mean. It's not a box. It's like an incredibly elegant piece of furniture, and I'm just like, you can put the OLED in a box. So when you look at things like rollable displays on phones and tablets and PCs and stuff, there's a very obvious reason why that's there, right? You're going to get something which actually fits in your pocket, but you can roll out to be like a tablet. When you look at a TV, the immediate answer is like, wait, why do you actually need this? But there are some interesting use cases. But because it's flexible and because you actually can roll it up and down, you can actually get different form factors. So for example, if you're just wanting to look at like some music or some, I just say look at music, you can listen to some music with like a little bit of like, yeah, see the little frame mode, or you can have some photos, then the TV can get much smaller. Or say you're watching a movie that has a 21:9 aspect ratio, well, the TV can just roll down just enough so you don't have any black bars on top and bottom. So as with a lot of brand new technology like this, it is not probably going to come cheap when it does go on sale later this year. But with something that's this cool and this innovative, it's only a matter of time before things get a little bit cheaper. They have different models, they kind of get the technology sort of really fine-tuned. But for now, you can definitely see why this does feel like it very much could be the future of TVs. I say that as someone who doesn't actually know the price though. The next cool thing LG has on display here is the Crystal Sound OLED. So I step into this very loud room. This is all coming from the TV itself. So what they do is they actually vibrate the display to create the sound. So I just got quiet. Oh man. It's like vibrating. It's like literally putting your hand on a speaker. What makes this possible is a combination of the OLED display, which because it is so thin means that it can actually conduct the sound, as well as a series of exciters that are behind the panel. And yes, my friends, they're called exciters because it's an exciting topic. Too much? Not enough? Anyway, the exciters, combined with a little bit of an air channel that actually goes between them and the panel itself, means it actually will create a proper full sound that's straight from the TV. You can imagine a version of this tech if it was on, say, a phone or laptop, right? I mean, imagine the entire display being your speaker. Or you can even go farther than that, right? I mean, I just put my hand on that thing, and it has some serious sort of vibrations. So if that was some sort of like haptic feedback for when you like force touch something, or when you kind of try to select an icon or play a game or something, there's a lot of really cool functionality that you can imagine with something like this, right? It's just a clever piece of design, and I'm always a fan of some clever design. If you take a close look behind me, you'll see something that is a little bit larger than usual. There's a full 88-inch 8K OLED. So, I mean, first of all, an 88-inch TV always looks nice. While there's a lot of people here, suddenly I'm going to step over here. But on top of it being huge, and of course it has all the benefits of being an OLED, it also has a full 8K resolution. That, my friends, is about the definition of crispy. So I've talked a lot about OLED and why the technology is cool, but of course one of the biggest advantages here is that it has an almost unlimited contrast ratio. So because each individual pixel is lit on its own, unlike sort of something like an LCD, which does have a series of backlights behind, but at the end of the day it can never go full black without actually being like all halo-y and ghosty, which is not totally fair, but I mean, I feel like we've all seen like an LCD which has a little bit of an aura around it when you get into dark areas. But with OLED, you don't have to worry about any of that because each individual pixel is lit on its own. So one of the nice things about it, especially something which is this huge, is it really kind of gives you the detail in the contrasty areas. So if you take a look over here, you will see the rows. So this is a series of 4K 65-inch OLEDs, all of which have been curved to this really cool sort of look. So one of the nice things about OLED is that because you have all these at such weird angles, you actually don't really lose out on any of the viewing angles. So you can look at it right up close, you can look all the way over to the side, and yet the image quality really isn't impacted. So that, my friends, is a look at what LG Display has here in San Jose to get a little bit of an in-depth look at the OLED future that we all want. That sounded weird, but I'm gonna go with it.